Hello. Let's look at some code I've written, and it's based on scraping eBay listings in Rust using requests. And the other thing which I've also done is sent the results to an SQLite database based on this tutorial. It's a really good tutorial. It's got all the cargo and main.rs code that you'll need, and yeah, so it's just cargo.toml and main.rs. And what I've done is actually made a project called WEDAY, and I've tried to structure it a bit more. And let's just remove the SQLite DB. Okay, so if I do tree -L2, you can see I've got DB, which is where all the stuff for SQLite goes. Scrape is where the scraping happens, and I've just got model, which has got a struct for all the fields, which you will find if you investigate the eBay CSS. So this still works. So this is from 2023, but all these class names still work. So if you want to get the title, then it's s-item __ title. You use find, which you get with this select, and this using requests. And this example was using requests with blocking, I believe, because it's not using async. So you have to tell it not to do the blocking. Yeah, request blocking. Because by default, the request crate is asynchronous. So if you only want to do 1 or 2 scrapes, then you would probably use blocking. I've made it asynchronous, so and the SQLite tutorials using async anyway. So there was no reason not to use async. So I'm not going to go through this tutorial. I'll just let you see it, and I can put the link in the description of the video. As I say, this article, I primarily used from the full code, I pretty much used all of this because I didn't want to spend lots of time getting all of the, I don't call predicates, are they? Predicates are XPath, but yeah, the CSS selectors, I didn't want to spend ages getting all of those. So, right, let's go back to the code, and I've actually cloned this from GitHub because I'd made some more changes which had broken it. Right, let's look at mv source main. And in there, I'm using Tokyo and then mod DB, mod scrape, mod model. So I'm just telling it to use or reference the 3 files which I've created. And it's starting to occur to me that I probably need a new laptop, because once I start doing proper code, which is more than just the main.rs, cargo check just starts taking ages. The laptop gets hot. It takes ages to compile something. Once I get past maybe 200 crates. Anyway, Tokyo main, so it's async, so we need async here, and then match the. So this is a pattern that I'm starting to see more and more, and I guess it is fairly unique to Rust, where you have a command or a function, and then you say match, then the function name, and then you just handle the result with OK or error. So, for instance, if you were using Python, then you would just have main, and then you just do db new. And yeah, so with Rust, you want to be doing OK, and then handle it with the fat arrow. Then you have So here we've actually got OK error inside of another. So that's this OK error is inside of this OK. And then you've got an OK error on the outside as well. So you got OK, OK, OK. I'm not sure if this is best practice, but it works and it works okay. So um, let's go to, I'll just show you cargo and then I'll do a demo and then we'll come back and look at the rest of the code. So we're using request, which is what goes off and does the get from eBay. Select, so that's what allows us to use the find with the selectors. So the selectors are basically how you uniquely identify the part of the HTML that you want to extract. SQLX, so that SQLX tutorial that pretty much gives you all you need to know. So I spent, right, disclaimer, I have used ChatGPT, but I spent all of Saturday doing that SQLX tutorial. In fact, I went through it twice. And then Tokyo, which macros and RT multi-thread. Oh no, SQLX just uses SQLite and runtime Tokyo native. Right, let's run it. So my intention is that maybe I might add Dialogger to it. So I used Dialogger in a recent video, and that would probably look quite nice if just to give some options. Particularly, it might allow you to specify the particular eBay category that you want to scrape. In the moment, I'll show you in a second, I've just set the URL to the URL is a constant. So I'm actually scraping a category of bamboo cutlery inserts. Cutlery is something quite it's quite niche, but it provides about 70 odd results. So that's kind of the target number that I wanted to be scraping, so that I'd get a medium-sized set of results. If you search for something very niche on eBay, then you might get some results which don't really match what you're searching for, and it might not match your model struct. So there we go. 70, or it should be about 70. So I'm still sniffing a bit. I've still got this lurgy, whatever it is. I know you're not allowed, certain words still kind of censored, aren't they? But I think it's that. So creating a database, success. I thought I put the code in to display how many results there were, but maybe not. So actually, if we go into, I mainly use Vim for everything these days, but VS Code's got an extension for SQLite viewer, which is quite good. Now you can see it's got the URL, the price. That needs tidying up, doesn't it? So it's got the price as an F32, but I need to kind of limit that to 2 decimal places. Details, seller, shipping, location, sold. It's even got the green tick, look. Right, so that's the results inserted into, so we've got a table called listings. And we've got basically the SQLite sequence, which I didn't generate, so I think that's just been automatically created for me. Okay, let's look at the other files then. So let's go into, so we looked at main, let's look at model. So those are the same fields that you saw in the Rust 2023 eBay web page. So that F32, that's what was giving me the really long price. I just need some formatting better. And then so they're all strings apart from price and sold, which is bool. Okay, so let's look at scrape. And that's the URL. So that's the when you get the URL, it may have other stuff because you get kind of ref ID equals. So if you've come from another page, it's got that in the URL, so you can actually strip that bit out. It's trial and error really, so I can't really give you a hard and fast rule on that. User agent, you can just put in anything there really. Well, you can Google for just a default user agent, paste it in. It could, so it's basically just telling eBay that the requesting user agent is one of these. So just Google for default user agent and just copy and paste. So const user agent string slice and then just paste it in between the quotes. So use request client, use select document, use select predicate class. So these two here are to do with the selectors for selecting what you want from the HTML. And then this is the function. So I started off, I just wrote scrape. I wrote that in main, and then I copied main, renamed it to scrape, removed all the extra bits I didn't need, and then I just prefixed it with async because we're using Tokyo, and then I made it public because it needs to be accessible from main. So then we get a result, which is either box dynamics standard error or a vector of listings. Now we want to get that result from this function because that's then what we will iterate over to insert into SQLite. So let client equal client new. We're creating a new instance of the client, which is the request client. And then we're basically saying let response equal client, get the URL using this header, send off the request, wait for it to come back, convert it to text, and then wait for it to finish. And if you get an error, then send it back up here so it bubbles up the error. Then let document equal document from the response as string. So then I set up a counter. That doesn't work at the moment, but I'll fix that. Counters just to display how many results we got, but you can see that when you go and view the SQL anyway. Let me listings equal vec listing. So the reason we can just write listing with a capital L here is because we've used the create model listing here. The reason this works is because I've done mod model list. Sorry, I've done mod. Show you in main. I've used mod mod DB, mod scrape, mod model there in main. So then once it's in main, you can refer to it using create. So it's basically saying go to the top level of the project and then work back down. So it goes up to the top and then it goes to model. Then it goes and finds the listing struct within the model.rs. And these are all the selectors as per the article. So as I say, that there pretty much matches this, except I've done some extra passing on the price because it's an F32 rather than all the others are strings. So I've used replace, trim, pass. because it comes through as text. There was a string, and then I want to change it to an F32 at the end. And you've used unwrap or in lots of places. So I'll try and speed up a bit. So let details. So we find the class. So that's the selector. Next. So the reason we're using next here or .next is because find could find multiple items with that selector, and you want to it's no if you have 5 items, you want to get all 5. So next basically iterates over whatever find is found. Then you map. So you map in D to d.text. So whatever the detail is, you're mapping it to d.text. We're doing lots of conversion here between the raw HTML to text. And then listing title. So we create a listing, which is a instance of our struct, and then we print it, and we push to listing. So that's actually putting it into the listing struct, and then we return the listings, sorry, plural, and then we return the listing struct. So all of this is doing the scraping, and then quickly, let me show you MV DB. And this, so NVDB is quite heavily based on what I learned here. So the insert, create a thread pool. So you create a DB pool. You create the table, your default table. I did use ChatGPT just to help me write the queries because it was just neater and saved time. And I just basically pasted in, I said to ChatGPT, using this syntax, rewrite this statement, this SQL statement to use my model. So create table if it doesn't exist, listings, ID, key, primary key, auto increment not null, title, URL, price, details, seller, shipping, location, sold. And then it executes it. So basically that's creating the table if it doesn't exist.